That's awesome. Well, it's interesting hearing the backstory behind people's handles. It gives you a lot of perspective on, who they are. Last user question here, and then we'll get back to more serious stuff. If you had to kill one, marry one, and then sleep with one between Day 9, Tasteless, and Artosis, which one would they be?
Oh man, that's hard. Um, without having a working relationship with any of those guys, I don't know if I could sleep with one without seriously offending somebody and putting my own dear reputation on the line. But I would have to say, if I was going to sleep with one, it would have to be Artosis because he's the most effeminate of the three. If I had to kill one, it would probably be Sean, be Day 9 because I love Day
You're
9.
gonna get some backlash for that one.
No, I love Day 9. He's such a pillar of the StarCraft community. But it breaks my heart that he's kind of backed away from doing the more serious analysis that he did back in Brood War, and he's kind of spoon feeding the game to lower level players, and I hate that. I hate that. Day 9 is such a tactically brilliant guy, and his analysis is so spot on that it makes me sad sometimes when I see him talking about stuff that doesn't really further the metagame. And then if I had
Yep.
to marry one, it would be Tasteless because he's such a damn funny guy. I think I could handle having breakfast with him every day. It'd be worth my time.
No, after that explanation for Day 9, I can agree with your answering there. I don't know if that would be the ones that I would pick, but, if I had to marry one, it definitely would be Tasteless, so. He's a cutie. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind spending the rest of my life holding his. So, back on to more serious questions here. So, you plan on going around all these, tournaments and stuff, but do you have anything more, fan based? Like, do you plan on doing, fan meet and greets? Do you plan on going to stuff like PAX East where you'll be doing, state of the game like things where you're just talking with your viewers?
Oh man, I would love the opportunity to do something like that. I don't know if I have that big of a viewership though. I mean, Day 9 gets 10,000 people watching him every day, and JP, his show is probably the most popular one on the internet. I'm just this guy that caters to the Zerg community right now. So I mean, maybe if there's enough demand for it, sure. But my focus right now, and for the foreseeable future, is to just continue to really break down the game in as high a level at as high level a way as I possibly can, and to continue to just bring this professional knowledge to the rest of the community.
Okay. So, who all have you met, of the big, names in the community? This is back to one more user question that I skipped. Who all have you, like, who are the people that, you have met and that, talk to on a regular basis?
I mean, as far as meeting these people personally, that would be none of them thus far. Hopefully, I'll be meeting everybody at MLG. But the guys that I talk to regularly are definitely in control. I talk to Sheth a fair amount. I talk to Rhett a lot. Rhett actually is one of the friendliest guys in the world, and he's always sending me replays and just giving me tips on the side. And then, of course, is my buddy Gerbil, who I actually brainstorm with all the time. Uh, and the other guys are typically more one-of folks. I don't sit down and have long, meaningful conversations with Idra or anything like that.
Okay. Now we're running down to the last few questions here. These are going to be more tournament bases, what's coming up. So, TSL 3, who do you think's going to win?
Um, who do I think is going to win? Man, that's such a tough call to make. I'm going to say this. I really hope it's not a Korean. I think the Koreans as a whole represent the best of the StarCraft universe in terms of skill. But I'm kind of pissed off and disgusted at the way these Koreans are marching around saying that they're the best in the world and nobody's going to beat them. So I would love to see the Koreans knocked off their high horse for TSL. If I had to pick a winner, it would probably be White Raw's playing, right? I've been really impressed with him.
Yeah.
That would probably be my pick.
Right on. My pick was Noni, just because I'm a huge Noni fan since Brood War, but
Man, I was a huge Noni fan in Brood War as well. And just to plug that guy, I think the mindset and the attitude he brings to competitive StarCraft is just spot on. You have to think the way he does to win.
oh yeah,
at this
definitely.
level. Love him.
Okay, next tournament. GSL. Who do you think's gonna win? Codes.
Um, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say July. I watched July raffle stomp Best in the OSL finals to win his golden mouse. Is that when he got the mouse? I think it is. And I was just really blown away and inspired by his play. I think he has balls of freaking titanium, and I think that's what it's going to take to knock off MC.
I would love to see that as well. My money is of course on MC, but I would not mind July just destroying MC, and that would be great. So now on to the NASL. Just give your basic thoughts and opinions on it. I mean, it's too early to predict any sort of winner. We don't even know who's in the tournament yet. But what do you think about it for the most part? A lot of people like to hear what these major people think.
I think it's tremendous. I'm so extremely just blown away by the scope of the NASL, and I'm so excited for the games and for what we're going to see out of them. Um, I don't know if NASL is going to live past these first few seasons. It's too hard to tell. Like esports in America are still kind of taboo, and when you talk about the games that are making it, it's basically the fighting game community and Halo. Um, but StarCraft 2 is tremendous. Blizzard is really doing everything they can to make sure it catches on as an esport. There is definitely a chance that the NASL will be the league that makes esports mainstream here in the States, and that would be just amazing. And I'm excited just to bear witness to it. It really is. It's amazing just the scope of what's happening here and how big it could possibly become.
Great answer. Now, this is the final question here, and then we'll let you talk about anything you want to after that. But I just completely spaced. Okay, yeah. A lot of people, and this is the majority of people that aren't in a position like yours, they want to do anything they possibly can to promote esports, to help the community in any way as possible. And it always helps to have an opinion of someone like yours. How can people get started into the esports scene? What can they do? And just, anything they can help, they want to know how.
All right. Well, I said I wasn't going to talk about money anymore, but you asked the big question. People say all the time, how do we grow esports? How do we make it happen? And the truth of the matter is, for esports to grow, you have to get the attention of the big sponsors. And for the big sponsors to make note, they're going to have to say, I can profit off of this. So, guys, if you want to grow esports, you have to inject money into esports, and that might be as simple as as buying a Razer mouse and saying, "Please keep supporting StarCraft," or it could be as deep as saying, "Let's host a $100 buy-in tournament with all the best players in America and have a $15,000 prize pool." I don't know, but for esports to grow, people have to invest in it. And if people invest in it, then the big people, the people in high places, the Razors and the Sonys of the world will take note, and they'll be like, hey, there is a place here for us to profit. Let's grow it. Professional sports got big because people watched and they said, hey, I will invest in the Falcons because they make me happy. And that's what it's going to take for esports to get there, and it'll get there eventually. As these gamer generations, as we grow up, it'll get there. But if you want to streamline it, it's going to take investing in it.
Great answer. Now, I thought of one last question before we wrap this up. People want to be in a position like yours. They want to have a stream that people are viewing. They want to have a show on YouTube. They want to do whatever they can. What is the best way of just going about starting a show like yours, or just doing anything of the sort?
Oh man, that's a good question. I ask myself every day, how in the world did people start watching my stream of all places? But it really comes down to name recognition. If you're gonna do something, you have to get your name out there, and if you're gonna get your name out there, you have to associate yourself with other important people in the community. So the only reason people watch me is because of the connection I made with In Control. And if Joe Schmo is going to go get Cats and say, hey Cats, let's do a show for 6 months or 6 weeks, then at the end of 6 weeks, Joe Schmo is going to be the next name on the tip of everybody's tongue. So Beyond that, the only thing I can tell you guys is to go win a major event and make a name for yourself that way.
All right, great answer. That should help a lot of people, actually. So, any last thoughts you want to say here? You want to go ahead and bump your stream, bump everything you possibly want to?
Sure, yeah, I can do that. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to thank you for thinking of me and for bringing me on here. I was really flattered when you sent me that PM on Team Liquid, just to think that people care about what I have to say, even if it's only you. So thank you for that. In terms of me, God, it keeps coming back to money. Guys, the way I get people on my stream is by paying for their time. And the way that I afford that is through the proceeds that I make off of the views on my Blip channel. So if you want me to keep bringing big name pros on the show, please just watch my VODs on Blip. I don't need donations. I don't need handouts. I just need you to watch my VODs on Blip, subscribe on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter. And that's really all it's going to take. That's all I have, man. I want to thank you again for having me on your show.
The pleasure is really all mine. You're, becoming one of those personalities in the StarCraft 2, nation that, everyone wants to know about, and it's really, a big thing for my channel to be able to get someone like you on it. So, double thanks back at you.
Well, much love, my friend. I'm looking forward to seeing the feedback that my interview gets, and I hope that it's mostly positive.
Oh, it definitely will, but this was a great interview. Make sure you guys subscribe. We have In Control interview coming up tonight. This video should be up before it, so if you watch it then, get ready for the In Control one. We also have Root QXC, we have Artosis, we have VT Desro, and VT Whiplash coming up, and probably more to come after those, but those are the announced ones so far. And, yeah, thanks again for doing this, Mr. Bitter. It's, been a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure's all mine.
Alright, make sure you guys subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.